Hello, today we are going to discuss about firewalls. So in this we are going to learn about the what is the firewalls and type of firewalls. Then we learn about the implementations and the configuring of these firewalls. This we have to configure the ACL, access control list, DMZ and the honeypots and the honeyNets. So let's first discuss about what is a firewall. So here firewall is a kind of network security system which have their own rules to control inbound and outbound network traffic. So here the inbound traffic are the packet which are coming from outside network or the external network, and the outbound traffic are the traffic which the packets which leaving the internal network. So it defines the rules to control this inbound and the outbound network traffic. So basically it act like a filter which protect internal network from unauthorized access or from malicious network traffic. So firewall may be a hardware type or maybe a software based. So it basically firewall act as a barrier between a trusted network and an untrusted network. Trusted network are like our private network, and the untrusted network are the unsecure network like internet. So the example of the firewalls are like zone alarm firewall, tiny wall firewall, peer block firewall, on the private eye firewall. So these are the type of firewalls. Next we are going to discuss about the type of firewall. So here the type of firewalls are of two types: network based firewall and the host based firewall. So network based firewall are the hardware firewalls. So these type of firewalls are inbuilt into the router or into the hardware. So these network based firewalls are come with the hardware inbuilt, so which is placed between the LAN local area network and the unsecure network, that is internet. So we place these routers in between the LAN network and the unsecure network. So example of this network based firewall are Soho firewall, that is small office home office firewalls. So these type of firewalls doesn't provide the protection if traffic is originated from inside of the network. So if the malicious traffic which is occurring inside of the network, these firewalls doesn't protect the network from the insider attack. Whereas the host based firewall, these are the software based firewall which we have to install in the host computer or the device. So these host based firewall work basically for the individual machines. Example like window firewall. These provide the protection from the insider attacks also. So this diagram shows the firewall that protect the network. They provide the barrier between the trusted zone and the untrusted zone. So it may be a inbuilt firewall, or it may be a software firewall which we have to install in our host or in our devices. So next is the how to implement and configure these firewalls. So here the firewalls are placed between the trusted network and the untrusted network, that is internet. So we have to implement how to place these firewall between the trusted network and how in the untrusted network, so that it can check all the traffic flow between these two networks. So the physical installation of firewall is same that as we are installing the router switches. So the physical installation is same as that of installing routers and switches. Like example, Soho firewalls consist of fixed number of ports, and each ports have the well-defined function. So it is easy to install these Soho firewalls in the network. So after installation, we have to configure the firewall setting. So these firewall setting is like ACL. We have to define the ACL access control list. So for configuring a firewall on the basis of traffic flow, so that is defining which traffic can flow or which traffic should not pass through the network. So we have to define the ACL control list. This rule of traffic control is called the access control list. So the ACL is a rule which is applied to an interface that control traffic on the basis of source and destination addresses. So it perform various other filtering like web filtering, content filtering, and the port filtering, IP filtering. So in web filtering, so it give access to the traffic specific website to appear on the devices, whereas in content filtering, it filter traffic on the basis of specific signatures or the keywords. In port filtering, it blocks traffic on the specific ports, and in IP filtering, it blocks the specific IP addresses traffic. So these are the type of filtering which is done according to the ACL list. The next we have to configure the demilitarized zone DMZ. So here the demilitarized zone refer to a host or network that act as a secure and intermediate network between an organization internal network and the external network. So these are the type of the different networks which we have to give the less security so that it can be easily accessed by the external network like servers. So DMZ serves as this frontline network that interact directly with the external network while logically separated from the internal network. These are placed separated so to protect our internal network from the malicious attack. So it is implemented to secure an internal network from exploitation and access by external nodes and network. For example of the demilitarized zone like web server, FTP servers and VoIP servers are placed in demilitarized zone, that is DMZ. So this diagram shows how we place the servers in the network. So here we place the local area network, our private network, in the firewall protection, and whereas we have placed the various servers in the another network, that is demilitarized zone, and we provide the different security to these DMZ network, whereas we provide the different security to our LAN network or private network. So the rules and regulation for both of the network are different. So to assess the traffic between these two networks, there are different rules to flow the traffic between these networks. The next is the honeypot. So the term honeypots is a computer system which is similar to that of real system. So these systems are basically designed to trap cyber attacker. So it is easy to detect and study the attempts of the attackers, how they make the attempt to hack the network or its basic purpose was to assess the information system about the attackers, how they hack the which techniques and which motives they takes to hack the network. So here the basic purpose of the honeypots design is to trap the cyber attackers. So honeypot network is of two types: production honeypots and the research honeypot. So here in production honeypot, it captures limited information related to hacker, but they are easy to install. So it is placed in production network with other production servers in organization to improve their state of security, so that the hackers can attack this fake system than the real system. In research honeypots, these honeypots are implemented or deployed to learn the basic motives or the techniques of the black hat hackers. So it is used to provide the harden the network security system. So by knowing their techniques and their motives, we can make the securities harder so that they can't attack the network by using the same techniques. So these are the complex to deploy and maintain, and it is basically used for in research, military and government organization. The next is the honeynet. So here the honeynet is a network which is set up with intentional vulnerabilities. So we create a intentional flaws in our network so that attacker can attack these flaws. So the honeynet networks are designed. These honeynet networks are the cost-effective network. So the main purpose of the honeynet is to gather information about attackers' method and motives, and it provides a benefit of diverting attackers from real network resources to the fake ones. So here the honeynet contain one or more honeypots, and the difference between the honeypots and the honeynet is that honeynet usually has the real application and services, so that attackers can are attracted to these real applications and services rather than to the real network, so that it seems like a normal network, whereas honeypots contain the copy of the applications and the real services. So this is the difference between the honeypot and the honeynet. So this is all about firewalls. Thank you.